I'm gonna try this again because there's just so many people that have so many things to say that I'm wrong. So let's test it. QnA, I'm right here. I got my face up and everything because people want me to show my face for some reason. Apparently that means something. So here I am. Ask your questions. Stop being stupid in my comments. We have open space. It is that simple. I'm so confused about people for real. How are people so like it don't make no damn sense. I just want to know. And they don't got answers for me. So I'm here again. Question answer. Since y'all don't have answers, I'll just answer your questions. Because y'all are not giving me answers for shit. And of course no one gonna join. And if y'all are about angel numbers, just 316, John 316, if y'all want to talk about that. So we'll put it there too. But I'll sit here and I'll wait all damn day. Because y'all act like y'all know something until someone like me comes up and then you don't explain yourself or you don't go into depth about what you're talking about. You just leave it like that. You just leave it blank. So here I am. Come on, bring your questions, bring whatever. Since people apparently know so much. So I'll just sit here and wait. And it's gonna be funny as hell because ain't no one gonna show up to this either. Ain't no one gonna show up here. And it's just gonna prove that these people ain't got brains. They can't one-on-one like this. Because I'm one of the only people that can keep it real on this damn platform. Who uses a platform to at least keep it real. But I'll wait. I will wait. We got 4 people in here. Are these 4 people gonna ask questions or just gonna sit here and watch? Because this ain't for watchers, it's for Q&A'ers. For real. And if ain't no one got nothing to say, then yeah, I don't know. Every one of them but one left. I just be waiting. I just be waiting. I just be waiting. Ain't not a damn soul got a question to ask once I pop up here. That's funny as hell. Ain't no one got nothing to say once I pop live. I think that's funny. I'm trying to just figure out what's wrong with people. What's wrong with the spiritual community? What's wrong with them? Why they got this demon on them that they don't want to get off? That's all I'm trying to find out. Because I don't think they realize what they're communing with. I don't think they know what spirit they're communing with. So we just waiting. Just be waiting. Ain't nothing? No question? No question about what I've said in the past, no question about what I've been talking about, nothing, just silence. Radio silence. That's cool. I'll keep that in mind. I will keep that in mind. Yeah, nothing. That's crazy. Ain't no one. Ain't no one. Ain't not a damn soul. Not a dang soul. No, I can't tell you that. I don't even know why you asking that question related to this channel. Personal public reading. There's no such thing as a personal public thing. That doesn't make sense. It's a contradictory statement. You can't. Either it's public or it's personal. Why it cannot be both. It just makes it public. Offered before, not now. If you need one of my services, email me. Welcome in. You tell me. I ain't got nothing else other than Q&A. Question and answer. I don't know what's happening. Right now, what's happening is no one's asking a question to get answered. I'm gonna be real with it. Right now, just a bunch of silence. I'm tossing a ball back and forth between my hands. That's all that's happening in this Q&A right now. Ain't no one that has a question really wants to ask one. I've noticed that a lot of people don't want to have their questions answered. They just rather them be questions. I mean, I can't. There's not else I can say. You know what I mean? They really there ain't much that ain't much else happening. There's no title for the Q&A. I just noticed that people feathers got ruffled because of the angel video I did, and they don't want to ask their questions and they don't want to try to get to something logical. They just want to say dumb shit. So it's like, well, I'll pop up live and I'll see if they want to pop up or if anyone wants to pop up to ask me questions. Because the only reason why people would be so defensive is because of confusion. It make no damn sense to me. What's happening with the collective? I don't know. What collective are you talking about? What group of people are you talking about with the lunar eclipse? Because I don't even know how to answer that. I'm not gonna act like I know what you mean with it. I'm serious. I don't know what you're talking about, Divine. When you said that, that doesn't really make sense to me. The collective is the global energies raising pressure amongst general masses altogether. I don't follow that. I don't believe anything. First of all, visual. There's not a belief that I have. I know that in life you bump into the people because something inside of you calls you to them, whether it's a positive thing or a pessimistic thing or a negative thing or an optimistic thing. They call you in and you call them in and you all agree. Opposites attract. The law of magnetism happens. I wouldn't call it a soul tie unless you want to have some form of mental attachment to that person or a bodily attachment to that person. I would just call it you being attracted to that individual at that time because they're giving you something that you're calling for. Well, I don't know the people who are in hermit mode. That's the thing. So I can't answer that question. And then even inside the people that are in hermit mode, how many of them are actually doing what you said of alchemizing the external internal chaos? How many people are actually doing that in that time? A lot of people aren't. A lot of people are just sitting around melting in it, not really doing any work on themselves or externally, no matter what. They just sitting there in that mode, hoping for someone to pick them out. That's what a lot of people are doing in today's time, anyway. What am I feeling right now? What do you mean by that? I feel fine. Physically, I'm feeling the chair I'm sitting on, but other than that, I feel fine. Nah, both questions are coming through on YouTube. You're just on the portrait view. I don't read live anymore. If you're new here, you might want to go check out that short that explains that. You might have subscribed from the past videos, but that was in the past. I'm not someone that stays still. I keep moving. I'm an evolver. I'm someone that pushes people to their next phase. And either they stick or they fall. A lot of people end up falling. And this is what I do. I get asked, people ask me questions about what they are confused on. I answered it. Simple as, I'm not here to waste people's time. I'm not here to feed them dogma. I'm not here to lie to them. I'm not here to cause any confusion. I'm just here to get down to the truth. That's what I do here. There are times in my title where I'll say I'm doing a donation based reading, and other times if I'm not, then it's not based on that. But yeah, if anyone has questions, let me know. The answer might not be the what you want, but it's the answer that I can give. How much protection is enough protection? Just psychic defense. Just having power over yourself and knowing that other people don't have power over you is enough. The second that you allow anyone to have any type of power over you, that's game over. People can do whatever they want to energetically, but if you don't subscribe to it and you don't, subscribe, which would be submitting to what's been written, you're fine. Because if your boundaries are set and done and your intentions are that you don't want anyone to affect you, then no one else is affecting you. It would just be you going through it. That would just be a nervous system issue where your own nerves are attacking yourself because they are reliving the past while because you're stuck in the past. You would need to boost forward into the present moment and stay focused on the present moment rather than staying focused in the past. Which, if you're stuck inside watching tarot readings all day, you're stuck in the past. Because tarot readings are not going to tell you nothing about the, at least the ones that they're doing are not going to help you move forward in any way, shape, or form. Unless there's some form of keyword or sleeper agent key that someone ends up saying that clicks you into gear and moves you forward, you know, it's a mentality thing. We live in a very mental world, so if your mind is focused on it, then your whole body is going to be focused on it. If your body's focused on it, then you're going to be in it. So it's about removing yourself from that. I don't know why men stick their tongue out at women. I've never done that, so I don't know that answer to that at all. I think some people are just freaks. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know why men stick their tongue out at women. Some people do it for like a playful manner, I guess. I could see it be done that way, but other than that, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I guess some men could be doing it in a form of like a sexual thing, I guess, but then again, I'm not one of those people, so I wouldn't know. I don't hang around those types of people either, so I really wouldn't know. Someone has to have good vibes. I'm glad I do. I keep them up. Hell, I enjoy being by my. I enjoy myself. I'm gonna keep it real. I keep it real with myself. I keep it real with other people. What I give to myself is how I give it others. I treat myself. Lunar eclipse. I don't know what energies are going around this lunar eclipse. I'm not too sure. I have not looked into it. I think it's supposed to be like a blood moon or something. Last time I checked. Depends on why you're visiting those places. Some people who are highly sensitive visit those places for their own means or because they feel called to go places. It all depends. There's not really like a yes or no answer for that. It all depends on what your intention of going to those places are. Like if you're going there and you don't know why you're going there, you probably shouldn't be going there. But if you're going there with a set intention of, oh, I'm going to be doing this and that, then, you know, to each their own. Just make sure you're protected either way. A lot of people would want to say no, but then again, it's like some people are highly sensitive and they feel called to go to those places. So it all depends on who you are, your intentions, and what your focus is. Had the yawns all dang day. I still have to do those things, don't I? If the past is being, shown to you, it's because you're in the past and you need to find a way out of that. Maybe you're in the past because it's something that you have to heal from. Maybe it's you're in the past. because of some form of strength that you need to find. You know, that's up for you to find. I can't tell you why you're in the past or why the past would be throwing you in your face. That's more of an observation one has to make on their own. What is the situation and what are you going through in current times that's making you remember that past? You know, maybe you're going through like an event. Oh, this reminds me of when I was doing this. How did that last situation come? How did that last situation end? And how can you change it so it doesn't end up on that same path? What if you run into a demon bound to a site by past practitioners? Um, if you don't know how to handle it, the best thing to do is to stay away. If it's something that where it's calling to you, I would find an expert within that realm, like a battleground. I would be careful with that. Um, if that demon was bound, is it if it's not something that you know aren't feeling called to remove, then I wouldn't do it. But if it's something that you're feeling called to remove or mess with, you need to first study who that what that demon is or what the energy is. So first finding out what demon is they bound, um, which will basically kind of tell you like how they were bound. After finding that demon, contacting the that demon's hierarchy angel, or finding out what that angel hierarchy angel is, and talking to them and seeing why and what that demon was bound for, and what the purpose was for, because their overarching angel will be able to give you the information. A practitioner is just someone that practices something. A practitioner in the spiritual community is someone that is just practicing spirituality. It's in the name. Practitioners aren't really any master of any sort. They are literally practicing that art. But yeah, just making communes with that entity is the best way to do it, Dev. Definitely studying, researching on the folklores and the lores and the story of that entity, that demon or that force, will help you figure out a lot what to do with it and why it was bound to those areas. Other than that, if it is a demon, if it's not one of the Goeticas, there's always a hierarchy. There's always going to be an overruling force above that entity. So it's about finding what that is. And that can devolve and down a very big rabbit hole if you're not sure what you're looking for, what you're doing. It was should probably write that down. The best ways to do it is to either trap the entity or to get away from those people who have that weaker vessel, you know. It's all about your own protection at the end of the day, and you don't have to save everyone that you're around. If someone continuously keeps getting entities hopped on them, I think I'm understanding what you're talking about. The wording was a little bit difficult, but if you're talking about people who get like hopped on by other spirits and principalities and etc., if they're allowing that to manipulate how they interact with you, it's best just to leave, not to stay in that, because then you would be agreeing to whatever their whatever that spirit principality's intention is for you through that vessel. You know, if that person knows about it and they come to you for help, you know, that's, you know, up again to you morally whether you should help them out or not. But the best case scenario is to separate yourself from those that would be weak or susceptible enough to have those entities on them, because they would only cause more havoc and more strain and stress in your life. That wouldn't be a selfish thing to do, as you know, you don't want your own life falling apart. But if you're able to help and they are open to that help, it's best to, you know, it's not best to, but it is a possibility to go help them. But they need to want the entity and to be aware of the entity, and want the entity removed. I should say, not want the entity, but want the entity removed and be aware of the entity for it to even, for any form of change to even happen in the first place. So, but yeah, if they aren't doing anything to remove the entity, or they are just negligent of it, it's best just to not communicate or have an open portal with them so that you don't have to worry about what they're doing, or what they could be doing that would be affecting you. That's the best thing to do. I got water. I'm good. No, demon time is just a phrase people use to say that they're doing things such as bloodshed, murder, killing, and doing disagreeable acts that would go against the will of the agreeable or the will of God. So when people are on demon time, they're just doing demonic activities. They're just doing low vibrational things. That doesn't have anything to do with the time loop. That just has to do with whatever's in them or possessing them to move forward. Only if you give it that power. And again, demon time isn't like an actual time. It's just a saying. It's a phrase. It's an actionatory thing that they're doing. There's no such thing as demon time. So that's just a saying that these newcomers have made. But really, that the music industry made. That's what's going on with that. It's not. I don't know what you think demon time is, but that's like just a music industry thing to give an excuse for why someone's acting in a very like abhorrent way, for lack of a better term. Your time is not manipulated by demon time unless you are operating on that frequency. Simple as time is time. Whatever you're going to prefix that time with is how you're using it. Oh, I'm killing time. So you're using the action of killing or getting rid of time. Oh, I'm spending time. You're using the action of spending time. Demon time. You're using the action of being a demon to spend that time. That's all it's meaning. That's simple English. Your life is not going to be affected by demon time unless you are operating in that frequency. Demon time can literally also mean the act of not doing something. If you know someone's not supposed to be doing something, turning a blind eye and then allowing a catastrophe to happen literally is being on demon time. You can either agree with it or disagree with that time fragment by doing the right thing or by being a bystander in that time. There's no way for you to be affected by it. Others around you may, because they themselves are still messing and dealing with that time or focusing or trying to do actions in that time. But in the whole general scheme of things, there is no demon time. Because if there was, like, where's angel time? All I hear is divine time, which is the ticks and talks of life, where you move on the ticks and the divine moves on the talks. One action proceeds to another. And that's what time is. The divine, whether it's a higher or lower degree, dictates. So you do one action. the higher or lower vibration that you acted on in that time, or how you spent that divine, or how you divined yourself from that idea to go take forth action, is what happened. That's what's going on in that. What? Alright, hold on. I did not expect it to roll all the way over there. What the fuck? I'm not even gonna act like I know what that means. I don't even know what that means. And that's what I'm here to do, is spread some form of wisdom. Trying to. Well, not even trying, I'm accomplishing it. Depends on the individual or to individual. Why is it a bunch of people with their fucking eyes showing that are commenting on my shit now? Oh my god. Are y'all okay? Like mentally? What the hell's going on with that? I look at my notifications and just two different eyeballs are looking at me. What the fuck? I don't need to see your retina. I am not an eye doctor. And again, that's not what I'm asking you to do. Why are you doing it all the way over there? Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Just... Get rid of these fucking idiots. I cannot stand them. Jesus Christ, bro. I don't even know what the hell going on half the time. God, why do you send me people in my comments like that? Or devil, why the fuck do you send me people in my comments like that? More like it. 'Cause I really don't get it. And then my stuff starts working. The second I get rid of that person, the thing I'm doing starts working immediately, perfectly and flawlessly. Look at that. And devil's gotta stay out my energy. That's just funny as hell. Funny as hell. How am I feeling today? I'm feeling grand. I am feeling grand. I cannot lie. Another day, another beautiful day. I'm gonna leave it like that too. Another day, another beautiful day. That's not. I gotta get this to work. Please. This is gonna be harder than it thinks. What the hell is going on? You better. Alright, well, that's good to know my friend didn't drown. What the hell? I don't think he should go outside if he's gonna drown. I'm concerned now. Now I got a whole other thing to deal with in the background. My friend messages me. He's back from Florida. He almost drowns. And that's all the information I get. Hopefully they're okay. I'm just confused. And you better go get some sleep. 1 o'clock, almost 2 o'clock in the morning in India. Jesus, get some sleep is important to get. Well, depending on how you feel about sleep, allow your body to let you tell yourself when you go to sleep. That's the important part. What kind of music do I make? Dude, I make all sorts of music. I'm trying to get back into like R&B and jazz and uh that era of music again. That's what I'm trying to get into. Well, back into. I used to make jazz all the time when I was like 16, and then I stopped. I don't know why I stopped. I don't know what made me stop, but I did. Yeah, I hope they're okay too. They haven't responded, so that just honestly reminds me. You know what's funny? Only you would know about this, Dev. This is the friend that when I cut my foot, it was orange. This is that same friend. No, I'm not on Spotify yet. I'm getting things worked up to where I can get it on Spotify though. I'm gonna start taking music a little bit more serious than I have. I don't even know what that was. I I'm multitasking. I'm doing stuff. I'm trying to get Photoshop to work with me. That's what I'm trying to do. But I've had this torrented copy for years and it's been torrented, so it's not the best. I'm doing well, Bella. I'm doing well. I'm just dealing with technology. It's awful to hear that you're in pain. What's going on with that? What led me to tarot? I made a covenant with God. More or less, God came to me and asked uh, for me to do tarot, so I did. And as I did tarot, things have been changing within the covenant that I made with the divine to where now I only hold on. I still do readings, but they're different. They're not gonna be like grand like for a online presence. It's more of just doing it for personal people with their act with issues or problems that they have in their life that they're wishing to solve. So I'm becoming more of a personal oracle because that's what's needed rather than an online present one. People have too much of a hard time discerning from what's true and what's for them and what's not for them. So instead of being part of that problem of confusion, I've taken it upon myself to be more of a personal oracle with me and my divine. And it's spread from just tarot to all sorts of divination. I have multiple divination methods that are under my belt. But tarot was one of the first ones that I did. Well, one of the first ones that I did publicly, I should say. I've done all sorts of other divinations. But that's what got me to do tarot. I was locked in a basement for 30 days, no food, no water. And yeah, I went through multiple experiences in that time. Ended up getting very close with a few angels, getting very close with the creator, with Anu. And Anu is one of the appointed names of God, by the way, if you didn't know. And that is the aspect of God that I got familiar with. Along that, I also got very known to Yanun, which is the name of Archangel Michael, which not many people know, but I got close with Yanun. I became initiated into the Order of Melchizedek, and from then on, I've just been moving forward. But yeah, that's how I got into tarot. Sorry, I finally got Photoshop to fix. It's all good. It's all good. It's no worries. All things came good. But no, I had no help. The police didn't care. No one cared. It was just one of those things where no matter what I did, no matter how much proof I put out, it was ignored. But it showed me the power of internal healing in the mind because I don't hold any grudge against them at all. Like I could care less. I genuinely mean that. Like if they were to appear to me, I would talk to them, not like happily, but like if they needed to say something to me, I would hear them out. I'm not gonna just shush them away or run away or be scared or think they're gonna do something to me. Uh, so it did a lot more benefit. But of course, Divine, you can always audition and send audio samples. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm always looking for people to kind of help me motivate, but uh also with the tarot journey I've become more of a tarot teacher than a tarot reader. I've honestly mastered that art form, and I kind of take it upon myself now to help others either learn how to read tarot or to enhance their skills within reading tarot. So that's something that how do I do that again? Okay, that's how I do it. But yeah, that's what I do now with tarot is just more like mainly just teach people how to read tarot and the history of tarot, the truth of tarot, things of that nature. So if you're interested in tarot classes or getting better at reading tarot, you can email me and we can talk about the prices and stuff for the tarot classes. Which that just reminded me I need to probably email that person back. I forgot. It's been like a few days. That's not what I wanted to do. This is the number song. I don't want to listen to the number song. Oh, it's the whole album playing. That explains. Oops. Listening to Nubian music in the background, and all of a sudden I hear someone counting to 100. I'm like, whoa, hold on. I know Wahed from anywhere. That's one. Why are we being counted to? I test them. I make sure it's who they are, even if it's a familiar feeling. I always test. I've done a lot of work with exorcism and stuff as well, so I don't really get gooped up by spirits. I'd rather always test, but if I'm invoking an angel or trying to talk to an angel, I will use their sigil, their calling sign, so I know it's exactly who I'm picking up on, and then even after that, I make sure that it's them, asking them specific questions that they would only know, and if I've previously worked with them, I asked them a question that they would only know based off of an actual working that I've done with them. Um, and I'll even ask them questions about in the past, would they pop up like, was this really you whenever I was going through this? And that's how I just confirm. I always test all spirits, as you're supposed to. You're not supposed to let any spirit go untested. Untested spirits can always be a trickster spirit. So it's up to you really when you're talking to these spirits or entities to make sure that like, hey, is my channel actually clean with this spirit? Or is there a spirit that's running in between both of us, making it hard for me to know if it is them? There we go. Yay. Also, for those that are wondering about the card progress, I'm about halfway finished. It's been a little bit more difficult than I would want to admit to get all of these good. I didn't realize how much effort I put into making some of these symbols, and I'm doing it in a very minimalistic way. So it's been an interesting challenge, but it has been one that I've been enjoying doing. That's what I've been doing all day. Is just working on this, getting this done. Um, what's going on here? Oh, another subscription. Thank you. But yeah, most of the time, if any spirit's reaching out to me, I always ask who it is, and then if it's them, I'll ask them multiple times, and it's also based on how your spirit responds to you. If they respond to you with like anger or urgency or like a force, it's probably not them. Depends. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Um, Normally I can. Normally when I'm thinking on someone or someone's like in my energy, I'll pick up on it. And I'll always, test and confirm for that too. But I do have a tendency of picking up stuff. Like there's been multiple times like the owner of this house came down and I thought that the air conditioning in their car broke. And I was like, didn't your air conditioner in your car break? And then they said, no, that was my husband's car. And I was like, oh, I was probably just picking it up from you then. And then like a few weeks later, her air conditioner broke. But there's a lot of instances where I've done that. So I've learned through my body in those states, basically the fluidity of how things are coming out of my body when I'm speaking. It is my body. It's not really just my mouth. It's a whole body thing. So I've practiced it enough to tell. But it's all about practicing and testing yourself on those things. It's people who do those intuitive games to make sure. I don't know why they call it intuitive games. They should be called like psychic games, but some people do call them that because it's just to work the power of the mind. Um, but that's why people do those all the time. Where they'll make cards and they'll think like, okay, what's behind this card? What's behind that card? I used to be really good at that, and then something happened within like 2024. Something happened within that year. People I was living with were not very friendly people, so that ended up falling away pretty quick. But I've been slowly working my way back up to getting that to be on its prime. Here and there, it pops up, but it's not as present as it used to be. they'll make it apparent. They will make it apparent. There will always be some form of sign, and I make sure that it's a sign that I'm gonna recognize every time. Usually, like there's a no, not all the time because you can't control it all the time, but I have a tree uh that I talk to that's very prominent with getting spirits in. Whenever my angels are trying to connect with me, uh I'll usually be in a state of meditation or in a state of trying to do something. If I have candles that are around, which I usually do have candles lit around me, if they begin to flicker, that's a sign, at least in my experiments and in my life, of a spirit trying to connect with me. So I'll pay attention to those heavily, and I'll sit and I'll be in a silent place in my mind, not trying to force a thought to come up, not trying to force any sort of answer, and just ask, like, who, what is this, who is this, what does this mean? And I'll pay attention to things around me, because you can tell what's going on around you if you're using your mind correctly. And what I'll do is I'll sit around, and if there's like let's say there is like a negative spirit trying to get to me, in the silence of me ask in the silence after me asking, what spirit is this, in my mind or even out loud, there are certain things that I'll pay attention to mentally, or my mind will glue to, whether it's a thought or me looking at something, or if I'm in public, a certain sign will happen, like someone might scratch the back of their head, which would be like an uncertainty, a confusion. There might be an ambulance or something going on, and that could be a sign to slow down. But it's all about using the realm around you to tell what spirits are talking to you and which ones are talking through you and stuff. Other than that, you will definitely hear a name, and to the best of your ability, sometimes I get it right immediately and I'll spell their name correctly, and other times I'll be like a few letters off. But doing that, looking them up, doing research into them will also help me connect with them at least. And then I really just do that every time that happens, because I want to make sure that I have a pure and true connection with whatever spirit's coming through, and not just one that I would like to have, or one that I would trick myself into having. Where is what I'm looking for? What's it called? This just disappeared. Oh, it's nothing in there. But that's the main thing. No, not specific sounds or specific spirits. I'll hear certain sounds, and those sounds will give me an idea of what to do. If it's a siren, that's usually, depending on what siren that is, it's to get your attention. It's to get your attention to move out of the way or to be more mindful. Birds could just be a simple communication. It all depends on how you're relating to those noises at that time. Your spirits will use different types of noises to communicate with you, though, to get your attention. And it's always just best to ask, what does this mean? What does that mean? And getting another response from that spirit, so that you're not lost or confused moving forward. And that, like, when you do get the response, it's the actual response that you want, rather than what you would want it to be, like, mentally, or what you would think it would be mentally. So just always ask questions whenever you hear a sound from a spirit, or whenever you. Hold on. Oh no, I don't want to do that. No, 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 no. That's not at all what I wanted to do. Yeah, I know it didn't upload. But always ask why, no matter what. Even if you're 1000% certain in your mind of who that spirit is, always ask why. Always, always, always ask why. There's no shame in asking why. Because you need to make sure yourself that you're getting the right information and not a trickster spirit. Yeah, it's important to always ask. That's something that spiritualists will not tell you. They say, like, trust your intuition. Well, if you were raised on having a wrong intuition, or if you genuinely just don't know what's going on around you, then how can you use your intuition? There's a lot of people that are just stupid when it comes to it, and it bothers me. As someone that does not want people to be fooled or tricked, it's like you gotta ask. You got to ask at all times, like, what is really going on? Like, what spirit's actually connecting with me? Is it one that I think is something when it's really something else? Because that can happen. Is it one that was sent to me by another spirit that I'm picking up on? Because that can happen too. Um, but it all goes down to you knowing, like, oh, this is this spirit, this is that spirit. I need to be aware of this. I need to be aware of that, and not letting like that distraction point or fear disconnect from asking those questions appear. So like when you're asking those questions, don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed by the answer or lack of answer that you get, because that defeats the whole purpose of you receiving that answer. You know, that just puts you in a state of more confusion, of more panic. So it's important to be grounded when you receive those. What's going on here? I think I might regret having a roommate. Oh dear Lord. Not them messaging me if I want to be in a drinking party. Let's not invite those fucking. I think my ancestors would kick their ass if they dare bring those spirits up in here. Yeah, they definitely would. My candle was going crazy. The second I said that, I looked over, it started jumping around. I'll warn them. I will warn the fuck out of them not to drink and smoke in this house, or they kick his ass. I thought I even wanted that to happen in the first place, but mm-mm. It might get crazy out in here. It's not against. So here's the thing. That's dogma. It's not against the religion of Christianity to do divination. There were diviners who give messages. It is about those that are doing it in a way to confuse the masses rather than help the masses. If you know what tarot actually is and you're teaching people how to connect to themselves rather than focusing on other issues, you don't have to worry about being judged in that way, because you wouldn't be doing tarot in a devilish manner. But if you're doing tarot to give messages of confusion, or you're not actually helping people, you're just saying, "Oh, this is what's going on around you," and however, that doesn't really help. Back in that day, there were personal oracles. Back when the Bible was like written, and when the events were happening, people had personal oracles. So anyone telling you that it's like, oh, you can't be doing tarot and blah blah blah, it's dogma. It's been turned into a tool of the devil, just as every other thing in life has been turned into a tool of the devil, because that's just what happens down here, unfortunately. When one thing is used to connect you to God, uh they will definitely convert and distort it to be used as a tool for the devil, which a lot of readers are reading for the devil. And that's the funny part about it, is they don't even know or realize that they are. In the grand scheme of things, they work for the Antichrist, and they won't admit that, but I will certainly be the first one and the last one to tell you. Because that shit's crazy. but people don't realize these things because it brings them in money or it brings them in some form of like, oh, well, if it's bad, then why do I have these things? Well, you got to remember the devil rules this world. So if you're doing things to benefit him, you're probably going to have things that as well. It's all about knowing what you're doing, your intention behind it. Like for me, and whether you want to believe it or not, these are events in my life that I know for sure. I was told, what? Okay, it just said that my stream was ended and then popped back up. Fun. Someone don't like that. But I know my creator led me to do this for a reason, for a purpose, and that's why I do it. Other people, I can't say so sure. Some people literally just do it for money. And it is awful. And welcome in. Welcome in. Is this gonna work? Does it have everything? It does. Yay. Oh my lord. I can work on this monster soon. It's just a big project I have. I'm gonna keep you up, actually. Because you're gonna... Oh, you're already scaring me. What do you mean lives... What do you mean live stream ended? On my phone, what? We're up still, right? Oh, it restarted again? I don't know if we're in the stream or not, because my whole technology's breaking now. Every bit of it. I guess the portrait view ended. That's so funny. They said stop doing the portrait view streams. That is hilarious, dude. That is so funny. Looks like everyone just says stop doing portrait views, damn it. Just do normal views for now on. Yeah, and those are your palm readers, and those are the lines on your hands, which is a form of divination. But it's not. I don't know. It really all depends on your true intention, on what you're really doing, on how you're doing it, even that gives the pretense of it being good or bad. Got so much stuff running in the background. It's just crazy. Oh, I'm gonna listen to Hoobie Hoobie. Hoobie Hoobie. That's a good song. What do you mean by that? What do you... I don't know. I actually don't know what you're talking about with that question. Could you rephrase it? The wording is very confusing. Oh my gosh, so my whole hardware reset because everything's messed up now. What the fuck? And then after that, I'm probably gonna have to head off. And your energy is from more than your hands. Your energy comes from within. It's not necessarily your hands. It comes from within you. And then you have portals on the palms of your hands, your kneecaps, and the soles of your feet, let alone your entire auric field in your heart that gives off energy. It's an internal thing rather than an external thing. It is a very bad idea to use AI tarot. AI tarot is only going to tell you what you want to hear. You are not going to get any like sound advice from AI tarot. That shit like bugs me internally because I hear people all the time like, I'm going to use AI tarot. Why? Why? I don't know. Unless you have programmed that AI to know what tarot is and to give it a basis of how to read that tarot, I would not in my life trust AI tarot. That is just something terrifying to think about for me. Oh dear Lord. But if you program it right, you can. For sure you definitely can. But if you're just asking AI, oh god, no. I would not trust that worth anything. I don't want you to. No, don't save yet. I need you to open this. What do you mean by that? What you gotta ask yourself, what spiritual realm would AI even be in? How would AI know about the true functions of spirituality, it just being AI? That's something you have to ask yourself, you know. Would you really be getting any advice from the AI with spiritual things, or would you really just be getting advice very blatantly with CERN? CERN has nothing to do with it. Everyone's so concerned about CERN, dude. CERN CERN did not do anything with that. CERN was using the energy of Kali Ma, which is why her statue was outside of their job. They just used portals to make war. That's all they're doing. They're not doing anything else. They're not doing anything special with it. They are literally just using it to create war. Like the goddess statue that they have outside is not like a coincidence. They are literally showing you, hey, by the way, we found out how to contact this deity or channel this deity's energy, and that's exactly what we're doing. So, just watch out for that. You gotta learn how to read the realm. They literally tell you exactly what they're doing through the symbols, through symbolisms, and not a lot of people know how to read symbolisms, which is why they end up getting stuck in certain times and certain paradigms. I'm not going to just use this, it's fine. But yeah, CERN literally is just there to cause war and chaos and strife. That's all. They're not doing really anything to interrupt with what human life is already going through other than just creating more war. Mm. Now, if you're worried about direct energy weapons, that's a totally different thing. And those, you know, again, we are our own energetic beings that have our own signals. So if you're not feeding into that signal that they're trying to put out, which would be fear and control and etceteras, right? Then you wouldn't have to worry about that actually affecting you. But it's all about mental warfare because it's all about the mind. If you can route the mind um, to think or to operate in one way, it will literally always be operating and thinking in that way until you change that frequency. But with that, I will be back later. I have a a scheduled stream that I haven't done today, which I probably should have been doing today, but I didn't. So I'll be doing that later. It'll be about habits, what habits are, how to break them, things of that nature. We went over that in the healing classes, and I thought that that would be a good thing to just kind of go over again. So we will do that um, probably later tonight. So if you are wanting to be part of that, just be patient and wait for the notification. I don't really know what time I'll be doing that yet, but expect that. But I'm gonna head out and continue working on this thing in the background. But thank you all for being here. I truly appreciate love each and every one of you.